Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to talk about the Overwatch League 2020 playoff format, the postseason format. Give my thoughts on it and just break it down in general. So I'm on the Overwatch League website. Here's the announcement for it. This is the little announcement page. Before I get into it, I just want to say that my feelings on this are very, very, very mixed. But I wanted to just break it down first a little bit and then kind of get into my thoughts on it. There's a short video that they put out. It's about a minute long, 2 minutes long, something like that, if you want to watch that. But I'm just going to kind of break it down here for you, and we'll look into it. So, as I say here, the end of the regular season is fast approaching, and the road to the 2020 Overwatch League Championship lies ahead. Which team will conquer the playoffs and become our next champion, joining two previous winners in the London Spitfire and San Francisco Shock? Join us for every thrilling moment, as all matches will be broadcast live and available on demand on our YouTube channel. So, here we see the first part of the format. 2020 playoffs kick off on September 3rd, which is a Thursday, with 2 weeks of online matches that are split into two regional brackets. So the North America one is the same 13 teams that we've seen: Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Florida, Houston, Gladiators, Valiant, Eternal, Fusion, Shock, Defiant, Vancouver, and Justice. I know I just, in the middle of that, switched over because of the Valiant and the Gladiators. Oh well. And then in Asia, we have the same 7 teams: Chengdu, Guangzhou, Hangzhou, London, New York, Shanghai, and Seoul. As they say here, teams will be seeded in each region based on their records over the regular season, with a series of tiebreakers applied if necessary. And of course, the wins that you gained through the tournament, the May Melee and the Summer Showdown, will go into those as well. Here, they say, while all teams have an opportunity to qualify for the playoffs, higher seeds in each region enjoy significant advantages, including buys and choice of opponent for the first rounds of the bracket and selection of the first map throughout. The playoffs open with single elimination play-in matches among the lowest seeded teams to earn their spots in a double elimination playoffs bracket. After 2 weeks of playoffs, we'll be down to the final 4 teams, the top 2 from both North America and Asia. The final 4 teams will compete in a double elimination bracket, with 2 teams advancing to the grand finals to compete for the league championship. In order to have all 4 teams compete on the same server, the 2 North America teams will travel to Asia. Where exactly in Asia is unknown, but I would guess it'll probably be Korea. A lot of teams are stationed there already. Makes the most sense. And I don't believe people from out of China are allowed to enter China right now. So my guess is that it will be Korea. Before the 4 finalists can face off, we still need a few weeks for health and safety needs and to account for travel logistics. And the prizing for the playoffs: league champion will get $1,500,000. The runner-up will get $750,000. Third place, $450,000. Fourth place, $350,000. The regional third place teams will get $250,000. And every team that reaches the double elimination rounds that does not win the matches will make $75,000. So, let me break down some of my thoughts on this. To start that, I want to take a look at the bracket, because the bracket is a little weird, and it's where my problems kind of start to show up. So, Asia, the first game that you have, which is, as I mentioned before, there are these single elimination parts of the bracket, the play-in matches. So in Asia, this is your single elimination play-in game right here. Your 6th seed plays your 7th seed, okay? The winner of that game then moves on to the later part of the bracket, which is here. And what will happen here is the 3 seed will pick either the winner of the 6 versus 7 game or the 5 seed. And then the 4 seed will play whoever is left, right? And these are all single elimination games. And then this is your double elimination bracket for Asia. So your 1 seed will pick either, the 3 seed, the 4 seed, the 6 seed, the 7 seed, or the 5 seed, depending on the winners of these games up here. So they get the first choice, and then this 2 seed plays whichever person is left, and then you get to the losers bracket, and then you have, the winners finals, losers finals, and then the person who wins the losers finals is the 2 seed overall. Winner of winners finals is the 1 seed overall. This may be a little confusing. If you don't understand the concept, it's a little difficult. But essentially, right, the TLDR of this whole thing is 6 and 7 play to qualify. The winner of that game is then put into the second round, where the 3 seed, as the highest remaining seed in the play-ins, picks their opponent from either the 5 seed or the winner of the 6-7 game. 4 seed plays whoever's left. The winner of these 2 games then move on to the double elimination bracket, where the 1 seed gets to pick their opponent from the bottom 2 remaining teams. 2 seeds left with whoever's left, and then it's double elimination from there on out. The Asia bracket I don't have as many problems with. I have some, but not as many. North America is where my problems really come in. Like, this is a disaster. So here's your first round of play-in games. You have your bottom 4 seeds, your 10, 11, 12, and 13. 2 of those teams will advance based on playing each other. Then you have a 3 group. We have 6 teams now. So you're 6, 7, 8, and then in theory you're 9, 10, 11, or 9, 10, 12, or 9, 10, 13, or whatever. Whoever moves on. Then they play this weird 3 group bracket where the 6 seed picks one of these teams up here or the 9 seed. Then the 7 seed picks one of these teams here, the 9 seed, and then the 8 seed gets whoever's left. Then you have an 8 seeded or an 8 team double elimination bracket where you have whoever wins the winner's bracket goes, whoever wins the loser's bracket goes to Asia. It's really complicated, and I think that's part of why I don't like it. Like, I understand the format. It's really difficult to explain to somebody how this format works. It is weird. It's confusing. I personally do not like it. I have a lot of problems with this format, and my biggest problem with this format, and I'll just go back to the details because the bracket itself is very confusing and very weird. This is my problem with it, and here's where I want to bring it up. Okay. 2 weeks of playoffs to get us down to the final 4 teams. So only 4 teams will play in the cross-regional play. So theoretically, let's just say it's the Shanghai Dragons, Guangzhou Charge, San Francisco Shock, Philadelphia Fusion. Right? Let's say those are the 4 teams that play in the cross-regional play. That, to me, feels like pretty underwhelming, not because those are bad teams. Underwhelming because some of the teams who deserve more shots aren't going to get them. You look at North America right now, the top 3 teams in North America, nobody would doubt, are, in no particular order, San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Paris. They're the top 3 teams in North America right now. One of those teams won't be going to Asia. Guaranteed. One of those teams is not going to Asia to play in the playoffs. But why? Right? Like, you would hope that in North America, where you have so many good teams, that more of those teams will get a chance to prove themselves outside of North America. And the same goes for Asia. So even though Asia has fewer teams, there's only 7 teams, teams like New York, Seoul, Hangzhou, who have kind of struggled in Asia, I'm curious to see how a team like, one of those teams would fare against a Philadelphia, a San Francisco, a Paris, a Florida, a Valiant, an Atlanta, whoever were to move on to the playoffs if they did it. I think that 4 teams playing across regional play isn't enough teams. And I understand, right? Like 100% I get that there is COVID and there is the situation involving travel. Can you realistically find a place that's really good for 4 teams traveling from North America to be able to live for a time, to be able to practice, able to play? I think that's ultimately the thing that is the biggest hindrance to what I think would have been the better plan. Is it's probably very difficult to actually get 8 teams to be able to play in Asia when you're bringing 4 teams over from North America to do that. And a lot of those teams would probably not be able to find a place to practice. Like New York, for example, just found a place for them to play together as a team. They were all playing in their own homes until recently. So I think what you run into, I think, with this whole situation is, I think that the league, and I could be wrong about this, the league's focus was regional play before the playoffs, when I wish the focus was cross-regional play in the playoffs. And like I said, I know that COVID is a big part of what has led to this plan to be what it is. And I get that 100%. You can't sit here and say that there's no way that COVID was the reason why this is the plan they went with. It's much easier and much safer and much smarter to send only 2 teams to Asia instead of sending 4. But I think as a product, playoffs will not be as exciting as a result. And that's unfortunate, right? And I'm not going to blame the league entirely on that. I know John Spector has had some recent Q&As that he was doing where he was answering some questions people had asked. And I don't remember if the question was asked why they chose 4 teams or not. I believe it was. And I can obviously pull that up and look at it. But I just felt like it was very odd that that's the route they went down. And I think that it would have been best for that. Now, as I said, John Spector had been answering some questions. He was asked why only 2 teams from each region, or at least NA, and John's answer was, we want to create an epic conclusion to the season and think cross-region play is a key part of that, but asking more teams to travel would have added significant additional complexity, and we believe the Final Four setup should still showcase the best teams from each region. And I get that, right? Obviously, you have to put the health and safety of the players first, and that is what they have done. They have decided that we're going to make sure that more players can be safe. For that reason, I do like the format, right? I'm not angry that this is the format they went with. I understand why they had to limit it, because you can't necessarily expect incredible cross-region play when there's a pandemic and there's not a ton that you can do about that. There's just really nothing you can do about that. But I wish that is what we got. It isn't. I think this format will be pretty good. I do just think in general, like, I don't really want to watch a ton of like in the same regional play that we've been seeing for 2 months now already, or more than that. It's going to be pretty much the same thing from what we've seen all season, really. Like, there's not going to be any real difference between what we've been seeing now and what we had been seeing before all this happened. Like, there's really no difference between this playoff tournament and any other tournament that we've had in the past, right? Other than the fact that it's double elimination when you get to the top 4 in Asia, top 8 in North America. I feel like the North American tournament is going to be way better. Like, that's just kind of a result of the way things are with the situation and the fact that there's more teams in North America right now. North America, I think, was the way better tournament in the Summer Showdown. I don't think it was necessarily the better tournament in the May Melee, but I think it was certainly the better tournament in the Summer Showdown. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this postseason format. Like I said, I wish the format was different. COVID has made it more difficult for that format to be plausible. But I also just think that the way that the bracket works is a little weird. Like, what is this? Why are you doing it this way? Why don't you just do, like, I don't know, play-ins that are, I don't know, more normal than this? I don't, just do a play-in bracket in the way that you had done it in the past. I guess that is what this is. You want 8 teams in the play-in thing, so you're going to do it this way, which I guess makes some level of sense, because you have to narrow it down somehow. But why the bottom? Why the 6th seed? Like, why can't you just have the 6th seed automatically make it? Why can't it just be this game here, and then this game here, this game here? Why does the 6th seed have to get involved in here? Like, that's where I'm like, why is it top 5, not top 6? It's really weird. I just think there's too many games, which I think people are going to say, you're going to complain about too many games. Yes, I think there are too many games in North America. I think that more teams, at least one more team, should be guaranteed a spot. This, to me, 5 games of single elimination is really weird to me. And I think that choosing the top 5 doesn't make a lot of sense when you can do the top 6. I think top 6 is just a better way to do it. That's what it was last season in the playoffs. The play-in tournament was 12 teams, or the playoffs, I guess, was 12 teams. The bottom 6 were in the play-in tournament. Top 6 were automatically qualified. I don't know why they didn't just do that again, but they didn't. But regardless, I would love to hear your thoughts on any of this in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. Also, let me know down below how I can improve videos like this in the future. If there's things you would rather me do with this type of format. I figured how confusing this thing can be, it'd be easier to actually show you the article itself. But let me know down below your thoughts on any of it. I would love to hear from you. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.